Every time I leave the plains of Oklahoma and head north towards the Rocky Mountains, I feel like I'm making my way back to where my heart belongs. The mountains bring a sense of peace to my soul that is difficult for me to put into words. The crisp mountain air, the crystal clear rivers, the abundant wildlife, and the breathtaking views create a calmness within me that I cherish every time I go. There is something special about those mountains. The way they make life's worries seem smaller and remind me to slow down and really appreciate God's creation. It's a feeling I look forward to every single time I make the journey north. Tyler and Jason and I have been hunting together for many, many years, and through our travels across the country, we find little spots that we like, whether it be a hotel or a cabin or a campsite. And once we find those spots that we like, we usually stick with them. And our place in Pagosa is this little place called Motel Soco, and every time we're in town, whether it be an elk hunt or a turkey hunt or whatever, this is our spot.
Always ready.
You all ready?
Stay ready so I can get ready or something like that.
It's our first morning here in Colorado. We are heading towards the trailhead here. We are going to be turkey hunting with our good friends Justin Fry and Sundance from Backcountry Outfitters. We hunted with them last year and just had an absolute great time. We got about another 20-minute drive here down these dirt roads before we get to the trailhead, and then we'll hook up with Justin and Sundance, and they should be there getting the horses all ready. We're going to ride in about 4 miles to our camp and then hunt out of that camp for 3 or 4 days. So the weather today is absolutely beautiful. The sun is shining, low winds. So we're hoping the turkeys are going to be doing it. Well, truth be told, we had to leave a day later because they had some late snow coming up, and Wolf Creek Pass may have been, a little bit sketchy to get across. So Justin said, hey, why don't you guys wait a day and decide to, and come up Friday morning, and I believe that we can get you guys, into your camp by Saturday. And if you guys need to stay a day later, that's fine with us too. So that's what we did. And it ended up raining pretty much the whole way there on Friday. All of Friday night, we just sat in the hotel room while it rained. But Saturday morning, it was clear blue skies and we were ready to hit the trail. Well, we're getting all the horses and everything ready to go. We're getting all these saddlebags packed up. Just met up here at the trailhead with the guys. We're about to be going 4 miles back to our camp, so y'all stay with us. Get all this gear packed up on these horses and we'll be rolling out of here.
Don't call me that. Yeah, that happened a couple of years ago.
That's what I got him. I'm like, this is a real cowboy right here. Take pictures of him. He loves it.
I just showed up. This old woman.
Can we stand with you and have a Father, we thank you for just another awesome time to be with this group that we love from Oklahoma. Thank you for the breath in our lungs and this awesome country we get to be in. We ask that you keep us safe. We ask that you watch over our families when we're gone. We ask these guys to just have a great time out here encountering the creation and the joy of hunting. And we just ask that you would help them to rest, help them to leave their work behind and really enjoy this trip. We just thank you for another awesome year. We get to do this. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
This segment is brought to you by the Grand Casino Hotel and Resort and by Rank One Medical. Elevate your health.
Aqua Well Drilling is family owned and operated and has been drilling water wells in central Oklahoma for decades. We are licensed by the state through the Oklahoma Water Resources Board. You can trust that we're going to get the job done right with no excess mess. Using the latest equipment, we can dig a well in the span of a day. You could be saving money on your water bill immediately. Call us today for a free estimate at 405-454-6264 or visit our website at aquaweldrillingok.com.
Well, we met Justin and the guys at the trailhead like we always do, and they had 6 or 7 horses, just ready to go for us. A couple pack horses, and we ride in 4 or 5 miles to our camp, and it's the same camp we go to every year. But the views of that horseback ride in is it's unbelievable. It's just pretty much some of the best that Colorado has to offer. And they had that late snow, so all the high mountaintops had snow all over them. And we hit the trail and we headed back towards our camp. And what we normally do is we'll get halfway to our camp, and then we'll take the horses across the river, and Justin and Sundance will kick us out, and we will turkey hunt our way from that spot all the way to our spike camp. And Justin and them will take all of our gear, via horse all the way back in there and drop it off and get everything set up for us. And then that way we're not going all the way to camp and then hunting back, and then, we're kind of hunting our way all the way to camp. But it worked out last year, so we're hoping that it'll work out this year as well.
We just got off the horses here, and this is where they dropped us last year. We crossed the creek. They got us across the creek on the horses and sent us up this ridge. We made about a mile and a half loop back around, hunting our way back to camp. Grayson and Shane just came through here with our gear on the pack horses, and they were heading on into camp to go get all the spike camp and stuff set up for us. But had a bit of snow last night, so the mountains are covered on the tops, but down here in the valleys it's still pretty dry. But we're gonna get away from this creek because this creek's running pretty good. It makes it hard to hear. But we're gonna do the same thing we did last year and hike up this ridge and try to get on some birds.
Well, we hadn't been off the horses and hiking, maybe 10 minutes. And Tyler hit his box call and we got a gobble. And I thought, wow, man, this may happen right here. So we went around, and got all set up, and we're just waiting to see what would show up. Well, we got set up, and we had a Jake come in and just kind of skirt the edge of us at about 65, 50, 60 yards out. And we didn't really get good film of him. He wouldn't ever come out of the thick stuff, and he kind of made his way over there by Jason, but Jason wasn't able to get a shot with his bow. So we decided to just pack it up and keep moving on down the ridge, calling every, couple hundred yards.
We've been hunting about 45 minutes. And we've already called in one Jake. We were up in these hills 10 minutes and had one gobble. But he just didn't give Jason a good enough shot. So we're gonna make our way down this ridge. See if we can't get another one to gobble. But it's a beautiful day today. The weather's perfect.
This segment brought to you by Jennyco Overhead Door, your overhead door specialist. And by Choctaw Archery.
In the morning when I rise, I know I've got you on my side. You're good for me, so naturally. And I can't wait for that fresh taste of richness you bring. I like the way you make me feel. Highland, I like your flavor, it's so real. Highland, so delicious, naturally. Highland.
This is the same exact spot Tyler killed in last year. We were literally posted up right here. And he shot that thing right through there. Let's see what happens here.
Well, we had walked about a mile, off in there, just calling, about every 150, 200 yards, we'd throw some calls out there and see if we could get one to gobble. And we had made it, almost to the spot where Tyler had killed the year before. And we finally heard a gobble, and we decided just to move out towards the edge where we could see a little bit and set up. Was a good bird, but
he got to like 70 or 80 yards and looked down in here and just, I guess he didn't see the hen, so we forgot the decoys in the truck this morning, so that might have boogered us there, but we got 2 birds gobbling, so I think we're just gonna maybe post up here for a bit and see what happens. But that did not go the way we hoped it would.
Well, we were just sitting there kind of waiting around to see if another bird would show up or gobble, and I saw something up on the hill, and I couldn't really see it, and I said, "Tyler, can you see what that is?" And he said, "It's a bear." You know, seeing that bear was really cool. He caught wind of us, and kind of took off, headed up the mountain. And as he was crashing through that stuff, that turkey just hammered, gobbled a couple times. And we decided that we were going to get up and make a move on him. Well, we let him get back up there. He literally walked away gobbling, going up the mountain. And Tyler and I, we've used this trick before. We kind of just started slowly hen calling just a little bit as we were working our way away from him. And, we gave him about 20 minutes. I don't think he ever saw us. He just didn't see another turkey, so he decided to go back up the mountain. But we started calling, going away from him, and we gave him about 15 minutes after that, and we got around in a different scenario and got set up again in some thicker stuff, hoping that, if he didn't see a turkey, down there, that he would still come in because he would have to work through that thick stuff. But we got sat down and set up, and we thought that he was a couple hundred yards away, and Tyler hit his call, and that sucker was like 85 yards in the timber. So we just shut up and waited for him to come in. This segment brought to you by Butcher's Barbecue Stand. And by French Drains OKC.
Nakoma Park Dental is located at 10420 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. If you are looking for gentle, affordable, and quality dental care, then you have come to the right place. Dr. Jason Wallace and his knowledgeable team will take care of your oral health care by listening to your specific needs and by using state-of-the-art technology. So give us a call at 405-987-1176 or visit our website at nakomaparkdental.com.
At Whole Heat and Air, we know how important it is to keep your home comfortable year-round. With over 17 years of experience, our certified technicians provide top-notch heating and cooling services. From installations and repairs to regular maintenance, we handle it all with professionalism and care. Stay comfortable with Whole Heat and Air. Call us today at 405-454-6338 or visit our website at wholeheatandair.com.
Storm season doesn't wait, and neither should you. Storm Safe shelters are American-made and engineered to last. Dependable safety and protection when severe weather threatens. Every shelter is built strong, built to last, built for peace of mind. During installation, our experienced team handles every detail with care. Join thousands who trust Storm Safe shelters. Call 405-606-2563 or visit stormsafeshelters.com.
This segment brought to you by Metro Group Brokers. And by Nine Marina.
Well, this bird comes in almost like an elk would. It was actually quite crazy. He would not come out of that thick stuff at all. And I've never had a turkey just come to about 35 yards and stand like a statue for 4 or 5 minutes, just looking around for the hen that he thought was in there. I mean, that sucker stood there forever, and to the point where Tyler's like, I'm on him, I got his head, and I'm like, it's just a little bitty pie plate hole, and I just, for the film and everything else, it was day one, and we had 4 days to hunt. I thought, man, I'm not gonna do this on day one. We're gonna try to get a better shot. So we let that bird go, and I mean, he stood in there and gobbled in that thick stuff 400 times, it seemed like, and then eventually made his way up the mountain. But we decided to call it a day. We had gotten on 2 birds and hiked about 2.5 miles, and we were ready to head back to camp and eat some dinner. So we decided we needed to get to the river before dark anyway, since we had to put our hip waders on and wade back across. So we decided to go ahead and head that way.
Every morning and evening, we would cross that creek and, put our hip waders on and walk across, and then, take our hip waders off and then go hunt. And last year, I totally dropped the ball on telling the guys to bring the hip waders. And, I told Sundance, I'm like, hey man, we forgot our hip waders. He's like, man, no big deal. I'll just trolley you guys across on the horses every morning, and, we'll make it work. And after the first morning of him doing that, Tyler and I talked, and I was like, man, I'm not going to ask you to saddle 4 horses, every morning in the dark just so we can get across this creek. So I was like, we're just going to go across in our skivvies from here on out.
I ain't doing that at 5 in the morning.
That water was brutal cold getting across there, but the last couple hunts last year, we ended up just going across in our underwear and then getting dressed and then going and hunting. Well, we finally made it back to camp, and Shane had a fire going and was grilling some burgers, and we just kind of sat around camp there for a little while in complete quiet, and was just kind of soaking up the evening. The weather was beautiful out, and there was hardly any wind, and we could hear a couple birds gobbling down the river on the roost, right at dark, and it was just it was an awesome day. We got on 2 birds. We didn't get one killed, but it was always it's always a fun time hunting with Jason and Tyler, no matter what we're doing. And we just kind of sat around camp, and we had some dinner, and we decided to go to bed pretty early that night because we had put several miles on our boots that day. And me being me, I was already making my plan of attack for in the morning, and Tyler and I were talking and getting a game plan together, and we had a pretty good idea on where the birds were going to be roosted. So we went to bed early, and we're going to try to take another crack at them in the morning. This is what it looks like to get your tails whooped by turkeys right here. It could be worse. Well, the next morning around 4:30, Shane was up and, getting coffee on and getting breakfast all together. And, these guys from Backcountry Outfitters is just, their hospitality is unmatched. Food's always great. The horses are always awesome. The camaraderie is just absolutely phenomenal. Hanging out with these guys have become, some of our great friends, and we look forward to hunting with them every year. We were just sitting around eating breakfast and getting a plan together, and Tyler said, man, we need to step it up here a little bit. We need to be crossing that creek no later than 5:15. So we finished up our breakfast pretty quick, and then threw our waders on and headed towards the creek to get across there so we could hopefully get on some birds. Well, here we go again. This bird gobbles 100 times on the roost. It took him about, 30, 45 minutes to get over there to us. Walks out 10 feet from the edge of the timber at 70 yards, and then turns right around and goes right back into the timber.
Okay. Well, we're back on this turkey that has absolutely whooped us the past 2 days, but he just gobbled down there. Okay, we are way up in here. We've climbed an elevation today to try to get above this turkey and come down on him. The past 2 days we've been down in the pastures and in the meadows trying to pull him out with the decoys, and he will not come out of this timber. So we've decided to do the exact opposite of what we normally do, and we're going to be in the stick stuff for a little bit and then try to drop down on him and we're going to try to shoot him in this timber because he's just not trying to come out. So the sun's starting to come out though. Y'all stay with it. This may get a little hairy.